Mrs. Phillips is the mother of Trevor Philips and appears in a Strangers and Freaks side mission. She was once a prostitute and stripper. It is implied in the game that Mrs. Phillips was both abusive and neglectful towards Trevor, rarely paying attention to him and verbally chastising and demeaning him. Mrs. Phillips was sentenced to jail for an unknown amount of time. It also remains unknown of what she was sentenced for, but it could possibly be drugs, as Mrs. Phillips appears to be addicted to the drug dilutamol, since she asks Trevor to steal an entire truck full of it. She mentions that Trevor never wrote or visited her during her stay in prison, much to her disappointment. The only appearance she makes is during the Strangers and Freaks mission. Mrs. Phillips after completing the storyline, If Trevor is Kept Alive. Mrs. Phillips looks like she could be in her late 70s and has short red hair. She wears a leopard printed shirt with a big black belt around her belly and pink leggings. She also wears multiple accessories like a chain, earrings, and bracelets. She bears a noticeable resemblance to Peggy Bundy from Married with Children, as both wear similar clothing and have red hair. Mrs. Phillips has a faint English accent, becoming more apparent as her conversation with Trevor goes on, possibly suggesting she was born in England and migrated over to Canada before her children were born. Her English accent may very likely be a reference to Stephen Ogg's mother, who is English. Theoretically, Mrs. Phillips is one of the few people that Trevor genuinely loves and cares about. This is shown when Trevor mutters and even cries to her in shame and guilt when she reveals her disappointment in him. In an interview for Playboy magazine, Sam Hauser revealed that his mother, the British actress Geraldine Moffat, made a performance for the game. However, she was uncredited. It is suspected that she portrayed Mrs. Phillips. This would explain her English accent. If the player manages to enter Michael's house as Trevor and speaks to Amanda, she may sarcastically ask, "How's your mother, Trevor?"